Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mitch Smith. I'm a realtor with Keller Realty based in South Florida. So this is an introductory video just to kind of let you know my background, where I'm from, what my goals are, people I want to reach out to, people I want to help, ultimately help. I want to find an opportunity and solve it. So I was born in New Jersey, raised on Long Island, New York. Graduated from Massapequa High School in 1985. Graduated from Adelphi University in Garden City on Long Island back in 1990 with a degree in bachelor's in business administration, business management. One of the highlights of my college days was when I studied abroad in my senior semester of college in London. So I spent about 6 months there. Great experience. I studied international business. I got to see all over the UK, England, Southern Ireland, and Scotland, along with other areas of Europe, Paris, southern Spain, Holland, Belgium. Great experience, terrific experience. Experiences that will be with me for the rest of my life. So I graduated from Adelphi University in 1990, and I did what most other people did. I got a job working in corporate retail America, working for, at the time, what's called Federated Department Stores, Bloomingdale's. I was in their temporary executive training program. And this was back in 1990, 1991. So I was there. I started at Christmas, and I spent almost 2 years there. Half that time I was living in Manhattan in a small studio apartment, paying $825 a month, and this was back in 1990. That same studio apartment's probably well over $2,000, probably $3,000 a month. I was walking to work. Bloomingdale's, which was their flagship store, was at 59th Street and Lexington Avenue. I was living at 50th and 2nd, which was right near the United Nations. So it was easy to get to work. I was walking there every day. I was miserable. I hated my job. The last position I had there, I was an assistant buyer for DKNY. So I moved up. I started out as a temporary Christmas executive trainee, became a permanent manager, got promoted to an assistant buyer. So I was moving up the ladder at Bloomingdale's. Well, I wasn't very happy. Didn't like what I was doing. Didn't like the hours. Didn't like my pay, of course. At that time, I was probably making about $25,000, $23,000 actually, is what I was making. And living in Manhattan, making $23,000 a year isn't very much. So anyways, I'll never forget this. So one day I went to lunch, Sbarro's, which is an Italian restaurant, kind of like a fast food Italian restaurant, pizza, pasta. So I went to lunch at Sbarro's, and I never went back. I went right from Sbarro's to my apartment and called my buyer, my boss, on the phone. I resigned on the phone. Back then I was about 22 years old. So I was immature at the time. Didn't always do the right things back then. And my boss was like, why don't you at least do it to me and do it in person? I just said I've had it. So I never went back. Within 60 days, I was out of my small studio apartment and living in Boca Raton, Florida. My dream. I've always wanted to move to southern Florida and have warm climate all year round. I was so tired of the cold winters in New York, the snow and the cold rains and the cloudy skies and the high expenses. It just wasn't for me. I've been coming to Florida since the mid-1970s to visit my grandparents, like everybody did back then, for Christmas vacation, winter vacation, Easter vacations. So it was always my dream to move to sunny South Florida. So I was there, and I had no job. Rented an apartment in Boca Raton, Florida. Really didn't know what I was going to do. Well, and by the way, my welcome to South Florida, I got there in July of 1992. My welcome to South Florida, in August 1992, Hurricane Andrew hit. Now, originally it was heading towards Boca Raton. Well, fortunately for me, not for the people of Miami, it ended up going to Miami, and it just destroyed Miami. So that was my welcome to South Florida. Not too far in my time in Boca Raton, I ended up going back to Federated Department Stores. I just didn't know what to do. So I went to Burdines, which was a division of Federated Department Stores. And I became an assistant buyer in furniture. Well, I spent 18 years working for Burdines, Macy's. After a couple of layoffs, I decided I'm going to get my real estate license. So back in 2006, I got my real estate license while working like 60 hours a week, but I got my license. And I ended up activating it full time back in 2011. So I became a full-time realtor back in 2011, and I absolutely love what I was doing. I still love what I'm doing to this day. I'm in my 11th year full-time as a realtor, a residential realtor, and I love what I do. I love helping people. The real estate transaction, whether you're buying, or selling, or investing, is one of the most emotional things anybody can do. So what do I do? Okay. The target, or my target, is the target people is, of course, people currently living in South Florida, or the people relocating from other areas of the United States or other countries. The Northeast is a big one. The New Yorkers, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Virginia. Those people love South Florida. Or now, this past couple years, we've been seeing people from Chicago, the Chicago area, and California are coming here. San Francisco, LA, San Diego, they're coming here. They're coming here for different reasons. The biggest reason is the lifestyle and the warm weather year round. So who do I work with? I work with first-time home buyers, people that are just getting started. Either they're single or they just got married and they're buying either a small home, a townhome, a villa. They're buying there. So what happens in 3 to 7 years from then? A lot has happened in their lives. They've built a family. They have kids, and they've outgrown the home they're living in. So I then represent them as a seller. They sell their first-time home, and they buy a bigger home. They buy a home in the 3 to 5 bedroom range. So it's a cycle. You get a first-time home buyer, you list their property, and they're now sellers. They buy a bigger home. From there, these people, it's a cycle. So at some point in time, they're going to become empty nesters. So I deal with empty nesters. I deal with people that are that are retired. They no longer have their kids in their home, and they don't need to have a big home. So they're then downsizing. They're downsizing to into a 55 and over community, into a single family home, could be a condo. So they're downsizing. I also deal with people that are in their late 80s, early 90s, and they just can't handle their own household. So they go into an independent living, life care facility. So I have somebody that I work with that's in that business, and they take them around and they find their place. So I sell their home in the 55 and over community. So I work with everybody. I work with first-time home buyers. I work with people who have families. I work with the senior population. I work with everybody. The key is to help each and every one of you, help you move on to the next stage in your life, which that's really my ultimate goal, to create a seamless situation where you're moving on to the next part of your life. So I love helping people. I've been in all different types of scenarios. I work with buyers, sellers, investors, landlords, and tenants in residential real estate in South Florida. And I will work with, my market is the entire southeast coast of Florida. I go from Port St. Lucie down to Miami. Let's talk about cities. So let's go from south to north. There's Miami. There's Miami Beach, Sunny Isles Beach, Aventura, North Miami Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, Deerfield Beach. And if you go west, there's Pembroke Pines, Sunrise, Coral Springs, Plantation, Tamarack. You go back further east, you're into Boca Raton, Palm Beach County. The start of Palm Beach County is Boca Raton. So you go Boca Raton, Delray Beach, Boynton Beach, Lake Worth, West Palm Beach. You got Wellington all the way west, beautiful area. And you go all the way up through up the coast, up to Palm Beach, North Palm Beach Gardens, Juno Beach, Jupiter, Jensen Beach, Hutchinson Island, Port St. Lucie. I've sold in all these areas, so I've got flexibility. I go where my clients want me to be. I'm here to service them and do my due diligence and create the highest level of service, 5-star customer service to each and every one of you. So if any of you have any real estate needs, feel free to call me. My number is 305-479-6732. Again, I'm Mitch Smith, Keller Williams Realty, 305-479-6732. My main mission is to help each and every one of you move on to the next stage in your life. So please call me. Thank you. And again, if you could please like this post and subscribe to my new YouTube channel, Mitch Smith Realtor. Take care. Bye.